Rain whispered against the quiet streets. The smell of wet pavement drifted through the chilly evening air. And, beneath an old bus stop, a tiny little girl stood alone, her yellow rain boots tapping nervously against the concrete. Her small hand clutched a half-melted chocolate bar. Her duck-faced raincoat hood leaned slightly over her eyebrows. Raindrops slid down it like silent tears. She stood perfectly still, perfectly quiet, perfectly hopeful, and from her trembling lips came one word, one prayer, that she didn't know yet, that some waits never end, and some promises break long before they're spoken. 6-year-old Elena Parker lived in a tiny universe, a universe made of bedtime stories, warm hugs, and chocolate bars that always tasted sweeter when her father brought them. Her mother, Emily, was gentle, patient, and always tired. But her father, Daniel, he was Elena's whole world. Daniel wasn't rich, he wasn't powerful, he wasn't famous, he was a simple delivery driver. Long routes, heavy boxers, late hours, sore feet, but to his daughter. He was a superhero disguised as an ordinary man. His arms were her castle. His lap was her favorite place on earth. His voice was her comfort. His smile was her home. Every night, no matter how exhausted he was, he brought her one thing, a chocolate bar. It didn't matter if it was cheap or fancy. It came with love, and that made it perfect. One evening, he surprised her with a tiny diary, pink cover, heart stickers. On the first page he wrote, "For my Princess Elena, love, Daddy." That diary became her treasure, a little book that would later hold the story of her pain, her hope, and her healing. One golden evening, with the sun melting into the horizon, Daniel picked Elena up and sat her on his lap. His palms smelled like engine oil, but to Elena they smelled like safety. "Princess," he whispered, "Daddy will come home early tomorrow." Her eyes widened. "Early? Daddy never came home early." "For what, Daddy?" "For a picnic," he said with a soft smile. "Just you and me, I promise." Her heart exploded with joy. "Really, really," he chuckled. And then he held out his pinky. She wrapped her tiny finger around his and whispered, "Pinky promise." In a child's world, a pinky promise is sacred. That night, she packed her tiny backpack, cookies, a water bottle, her pink teddy named Buttercup, and a little note she wrote with wobbly handwriting. "Daddy, I love you. Come soon." Before sleeping, she opened her diary and wrote, "Daddy promised," and drifted into dreams filled with sunshine and laughter. Morning arrived, then afternoon, then sunset, but Daniel did not. Elena waited at the window, then by the stairs, then at the door. Finally, she stood outside, rainwater splashing under her yellow boots, still holding the chocolate bar he gave her last night. "Sweetheart," Emily said softly, "let's go inside. You'll get sick." "Bah!" Elena shook her head. "No, Mommy, Daddy promised, said he'll come. He has to come." The chocolate bar melted in her small fist. Cars passed. Buses arrived. People hurried. Streetlights flickered on one by one, but Daniel never appeared. Hours passed. Emily finally picked Elena up, wet, cold, trembling. "Maybe tomorrow," Elena whispered. Emily forced herself to smile. "Yes, baby, maybe tomorrow." But tomorrow came, and the next day, and the next. Still no Daniel. Yet Elena kept returning to that bus stop, day after day, storm after storm, hope after hope. Emily cried silently at night, not loudly, but the kind of cry that breaks a person from the inside, because she knew the truth. Daniel wasn't coming home. He had died in an accident that very evening. Police delivered his wallet, his keys, his broken phone, and a crushed chocolate bar he had bought for Elena. But how do you tell a 6-year-old her world has ended? Emily couldn't. She didn't have the strength, so she held the truth inside her heart, like a thorn. She watched her daughter wait with hope, wait with innocence, wait with that melted chocolate bar memory tucked inside her soul. Every day Elena wrote in her diary, "Daddy didn't come today. He will come tomorrow. Maybe he's busy. I miss him." And Emily let her write it, because hope was the only thing keeping her little girl alive. Years passed, but the routine stayed the same. School homework, snack, bus stop, waiting. even when rain poured, even when wind roared, even when snow covered the streets in white silence. Elena sat on that bench with her diary. Her hope did not die. It grew stronger, stubborn, desperate. Sometimes she saw men with the same jacket, same hairstyle, same walk. Her heart raced every time and broke every time she realized it wasn't him. Her diary filled with hundreds of entries. I saw someone who looked like Daddy. It rained today. Daddy loved rain. I think Mommy cried again. I'm still waiting. The world moved on. Elena didn't. At 16, Elena looked strong, but inside, she was still that 6-year-old in yellow rain boots. At school events, talent shows, award ceremonies, parent meetings, parents filled the seats, cheering, clapping, smiling, but beside Elena, always an empty chair. Every year, every event, every stage, she grew strangely attached to that chair. It felt familiar, comforting. She would sometimes whisper, "I know you tried, Daddy. I know you meant to come." No one heard her, but the empty chair did. One quiet evening, 16-year-old Elena opened her diary. She read through years of heartbreak, years of waiting, years of believing. Then she closed the diary gently and walked to her mother. "Mom," she whispered, "I forgive Daddy." Emily froze. "Forgive him for what, sweetheart?" "For not coming back," Elena said softly. "But I'm done waiting now." Emily broke. Years of hidden grief poured out. She hugged her tightly. "You never had to wait, baby," she whispered, "but I know why you did." But the last line Elena ever wrote stayed in Emily's heart. "Forever," Daddy promised. "I just wanted to see him once." On Elena's 20th birthday, something unexpected arrived. A package from police archives. Inside an old, faded envelope. The note had been found in Daniel's jacket on the night he died, but never reached home. Hands trembling, Elena opened it. Inside was a small paper with her father's handwriting. "Elena, Daddy loves you more than anything. I'm bringing chocolates at the picnic." "Princess." A chocolate wrapper slipped out. Elena's breath shattered. Her knees weakened. Her heart cracked and healed at the same time. "Daddy, you were coming home. You didn't break your promise." Life broke it. Tears fell, but they weren't tears of abandonment. They were tears of understanding. Elena grew into a strong young woman. She became a pediatric nurse because she didn't want any child to feel the emptiness she carried for years. And she made herself one rule: no promises, only effort. Promises can break, effort does not. One day, walking through her old neighborhood, she saw it. The old bus stop, the same bench, the same crooked pole, the same place where her childhood ended, and her strength began. She sat for a moment, closed her eyes, breathed in the old memories. Then she tore a page from her diary and left it on the bench. It said, "For every child who waited for someone who never came." She stood up. She didn't cry. She didn't break. She simply smiled. Not because she forgot him, but because she finally understood him. Some people leave our world without warning, but the love they leave behind stays forever. Daniel broke a promise, but not by choice. His love never left Elena, and Elena didn't let loss destroy her. She turned pain into compassion, loneliness into understanding, heartbreak into strength. Because sometimes the people we lose give us more courage than the people who stayed. Thank you for watching. Your support truly means everything. If Elena's journey touched your heart, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so we can bring more beautiful, emotional stories like this to life. Your one click helps this story reach another heart.